Welcome, everyone, to yet another amazing AAPC social hour. I'm Dave Kaiser, and with
I'm
me,
Alex McKinley.
the illustrious AAPC Alex,
Oh
as
no,
everyone
I'm
would
laggy,
say.
aren't I?
A little bit laggy, yeah. Oh, it looks like Lady
My
Martine is first on the chat to say
okay.
hello.
Hey, lady.
Nice. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, Crafty Coder says my favorite time social hour at the AAPC. Yeah, we had to make you guys wait a couple minutes. We're just getting all of our guests ready to go and everything. So thanks for your patience on that. We have a great show for you today. We have some awesome guests. I don't think, yeah, we didn't even tell you who we're gonna have, but we'll tell you soon. But before we get started, Alex, what's your week been like?
I we talk about this a lot, but it's just a big part of what's going on. Just you feel the momentum towards conference happening,
Yeah.
and it's exciting, fun. We just had a contest in the AAPC Facebook group to have dinner at Dave Ramsey's kitchen with a few of the staff and a few members. It's an exclusive thing. And Dave, can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Am I coming
Yeah, I can
across?
hear you okay. Your video's a
Okay.
little laggy, but I can hear you fine.
Okay. When we get everybody else on, I'm gonna restart my computer. But
Cool.
I'm gonna announce that winner right now. Is that cool?
I love that. Yeah. So the winner of the Dave Ramsey dinner or dinner at Dave Ramsey's kitchen during HealthCon, right?
Yes, yes. And we just throw a little contest in because we had an extra seat for that event. The winner of that is I'm stretching out my words because my computer's laggy. It's thinking. It is Christina Reyes. So Christina, I'll be sending you a message, get some information from you. Yep. Looking forward to hanging out with you.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Christina. A date with Alex at Dave Ramsey's kitchen. Hey, I'd pay good money for that. So
Yes. Oh man, yeah.
yeah, talking about
Sorry,
gearing up.
Dave, employees are excluded.
Oh man. See, I never win anything. I just get to be a part of it somehow. So speaking of getting ready for HealthCon, I was actually up in Salt Lake just Monday and Tuesday of this week to get all of our breakout kits ready to go, packing up pallets. There's just a lot that goes into prepping for these sessions, and it's been fun. But you feel the buzz and you feel the hype around HealthCon because it's such a fun event. So I'm curious. In the chat, we've got a pretty good group. Anybody going to HealthCon this year? Who's going to HealthCon? If you are, say me or I am. I'm curious who we have on that's going.
Yeah, we will be having more social media contests at conference for those who share their experience on LinkedIn and Instagram. So we'll talk about that as we get closer to conference and put some information in the conference app. So looking forward to it, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then we're also doing a social hour on the last day of conference. Is that right? On the 17th?
We are. Yep. Yep.
I guess it'd just
So
be maybe
thanks for
right
bringing that
after.
up. Yeah. So we've got our normal social hour on the second week of April. That is the week before conference, and we're just going to move the fourth week AAPC social hour to the third week. So while we're at conference, you and I will be there in person. Let's just do it together, Dave, while we're there.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Cool. So something else to look forward to. All
Hey,
right.
where are you now, Dave?
Where am I? I am well
Yes,
right now.
we need to know.
I'm back in Arizona. Well, Utah, Arizona, right on the border. So, yeah, I've tried to stay close prior to HealthCon in case I need to go up to Salt Lake for, in the office there. So, like I said, I was there just a couple days ago and everything's pretty much ready to go, load up on the truck, and then I'm really close to Vegas. So that's nice. I'll be able to just drive down instead of having to fly. So I'm excited about not having to fly.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, we should probably just bring in our guests. We have an awesome lineup today. We'll bring on Rita Genovese and we have Karen Bowman with us. And they're going to be talking to us about a few different things. We'll probably start off just by allowing them to say hello, and tell us a little bit about their involvement or what they do with AAPC for those that are new and that don't know. And if you don't know these two, you'll get to know them very quickly, I'm sure. Rita, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Rita Genovese. I serve on the National Advisory Board currently with my team member Karen and several others. In the past, I have served on the Board of Directors, which is now the Chapter Advisory Board, as well as previously on the National Advisory Board, as well as I served as an ICD-10 trainer. Remember those days?
I do.
And currently, I'm also the president of the Philadelphia chapter. And while we are on the National Advisory Board, I co-chair the membership committee. So it's an exciting time for all of us. We have so many initiatives going forward. And I also am a speaker at HealthCon and regionals for the past few years.
Yeah. Past few years. Yeah, several. So Rita's been involved with the APC for such a long time. Ever since I've been around, which is 13 years or so. I remember working with webinars on it and everything.
1999, and it was a very good year because Prince ruled.
Right, Prince. Cool. What about you, Karen? Give us a little introduction.
Oh, hello, everybody. I am Karen Bowman, and I am a member of the National Advisory Board. This is my third year, and I have enjoyed it very much. And I am a teammate of Rita's and have learned so much about AAPC, things I didn't know, and how much they work for us. I'm a member of the Career Advancement Committee, and with that, we do a lot of different things. I have got a LinkedIn kind of little presentation coming out next month for you all to help us all build up our LinkedIn profiles. You know, we do a lot of hard work. I have presented at I will be presenting at this year's HealthCon, and I have sat on the practice management panel for this will be my third year. I presented at regionals last year, so some of you may have seen me from there. But it has been a joy to be with the AAPC National Advisory Board and work with all you people.
Love it. Thank you, Karen and Rita. So for those, I really like to kind of get people up to speed if they don't know some of the acronyms that we use, at least in AAPC. I know industry-wide there's lots of acronyms, but you mentioned the National Advisory Board, right? And we call that the NAB. And then now we have the Chapter Advisory Board, which used to be our Board of Directors. The BOD, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you can follow all this, everyone out there, we now have the NAB and the CAB. So the NAB and the CAB, they rhyme. It's easier. I think that's why you all changed it, just to make it easier to say. But what does that take? How do you get involved with the National Advisory Board or the Chapter Advisory Board?
So there's an application process that happens. Ours will be coming out soon for new members for our next term. And there's requirements. So there's, questions you need to answer. There's references that you need to supply. Your involvement with the APC, if you were a past chapter officer, if you've written articles, there's a lot of different information that's requested. And then it goes to the president-elect and the team to be able to review the applications and then interview and then move forward from that.
Awesome. So an application process. Now the Chapter Advisory Board. Same way. Same thing.
Same way. Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Same way. And it's a great opportunity. If any of you are very passionate about what you do, passionate about leadership, continued support and integration with the AAPC, it's a wonderful opportunity to be part of initiatives, implement initiatives, know what's going on in our world today, in our industry. And we also participate in so many different events like conference.
Yeah. Perfect. Beautiful. Karen, anything you wanted to add to that?
Please, yes. You know, one of the things I have been involved locally for many, many years in AAPC, and Rita talked about 1999. I think I first got my first certification was in 2001. So that tells you we've been around a long time. And I've been to HealthCon before. And I'll tell you, when I got involved with the National Advisory Board, and like Rita said, you complete an application, and they typically you'll get an email from AAPC and then you fill it out. But I have been involved in so many different things, volunteering and doing doing the work that we need to do, whether you want to call it pay it forward or giving back, whichever way you want to call it, because I feel very strongly that it takes people like us, and at one point I'm going to retire in a couple of years maybe, people need to step up, and that's what we want to do. We want to get those leaders, and we're working very hard. We're trying to help you all, like I told earlier about the LinkedIn, we're trying to help you all boost your LinkedIn profile so you can get those dream jobs that you want, and things like that. There's so much that we do and look at things, and one of the things I was involved in this past year, and I think we've got one more coming up, was CPMA. We kind of did a special group for different specialty certifications, and I was involved in one of those, and I worked with a member of the chapter advisory board. We worked very well together, and in all honesty, I don't know them that well because we're kind of split up, right, Rita? We see them at conferences, but that's pretty much the same, but we worked wonderfully together, and so that was really good for me to get to know her, and just working with you all with AAPC. And our goal is to make our members' lives easier, better, to give you what you need to succeed, and help you. That's what our goal is, I think.
So I could piggyback on Karen as well. So one of the initiatives of the membership committee is the new Emerging Leaders program that you have seen on the landing page for AAPC, and there's an application process for that as well. But the focus was to encourage and assist new leaders of tomorrow, because of the fact, like Karen said, a lot of us, have been around, and we're going to move on eventually to enjoying our greener pastures. But the point of it was to give the opportunity to our members and our chapter officers that want to grow in a leadership role. It's a 10-month program. It's a free program, and it's educational courses monthly taught by a lot of successful leaders in our industry. And there's a variety of different topics. And you'll get a completion certificate. Like, you're going to go through an intense course. There's PowerPoints, discussions. There might be quizzes, some additional reading. But we felt very passionate about this emerging, assisting AAPC with this initiative, because those of us that are leaders in our industry really want to encourage people to get into the leadership track. Whether it's in revenue cycle management or coding or compliance or auditing, and so many of the other industries that we work in. So that was something that the membership committee, along with AAPC and their support, pushed forward, and we're extremely excited about this. This will be our first, session course. Will happen after HealthCon.
Love it. Yeah, perfect segue into that, emerging leaders. As you guys beautifully stated, we have this generation of coders or billers, practice managers that have been involved with the AAPC for a long time. And they're like our industry experts, our pros. They speak at HealthCon. They're involved in these boards. But we also have this huge influx of new coders, people who are passing the exam, people who are, wanting to really dive into the industry. And a lot of them have natural leadership capabilities. And even if they don't, there's ways to develop those, like with this Emerging Leaders program. But we would encourage anybody, if you want to volunteer, if you want to be involved and get more involved, there's lots of opportunities. This Emerging Leaders program, great. Getting involved with your local chapter and getting to know your local chapter officers. It's funny that we're talking about all this, because it's next month. I think it's the 20th through the 27th. I think it's that week. It's our volunteer appreciation week. So that goes to, you, Rita, and Karen, and all of our volunteers on the NAB, the CAB, our local chapter officers, everybody who volunteers and gives of their expertise. It's a beautiful thing. And we couldn't be the organization that we are without you. So you are like the boots on the ground, just, galvanizing our whole membership. So love it.
One of the things, Dave, I would like to say is if you ever thought about becoming a local chapter officer, but you're afraid to do so, don't be afraid. We all were there at one point in time, and we're here today doing what we're doing. It's a little scary at first, but you're going to have support from your local chapter, but you're also going to have support from the AAPC because we want you to succeed, and it may take you out of your comfort zone a little bit, but it is going to be worth it. You're going to become a stronger person, and you will have a team. Your team will be right there with you in your local chapter of the officers. So step up. We need you new local leaders in our local chapters. We do.
Yeah, I agree with Karen in that sense, is that, we really try to mentor chapter members, the current chapter officers, try to, mentor members to become officers. It is once again, a great experience. And, I was green back then as well. Didn't know how to speak in front of people, didn't know a lot more about the APC as I do now. And, you get the bug. Once you join, you're always around. You always want to help.
And then you get the benefit of this massive network of all these people you get to know. And that can lead to other job opportunities even. And it's a great thing to get involved.
When you say that, Dave, it's so funny because, my son, who's been around a long time with the APC as well as my sidekick, he always says, Mom, you're the only person I know that has a friend in every single state and Puerto Rico and a couple other places. And he's like, I just love the fact that when somebody asks you a question, you could just call somebody that if you don't know the answer.
Exactly.
And that all stems from networking within the AAPC, whether going to conference, being a chapter officer, attending networking sessions, or being on the board. I mean, long-standing relationships that come out of this organization.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. There he is. AAPC Alex is back. All right. He's been trying to get his computer working, been having a few technical difficulties. Might still be frozen a little bit. I'm not sure.
So I don't know if I'm any better.
It's still a little jittery.
Robot dance.
Yeah, you're just constantly doing the robot. We can still hear you okay if there's something that you want to.
I went searching for Lisa. I restarted my computer. I went searching for Lisa, couldn't find her. So I'll just kind of hang low, guys, since I'm a little bit choppy today.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like it's getting a little bit better, a little bit smoother. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, we were going to have Lisa Livingston joining us, and maybe there's some technical issues on that side too. Hey, it happens. We're in an online digital world, right? All this stuff is going to happen. So we just roll with it. There was a question in the comment about the course asking if there was a cost for the course, and you had said
no, there's no cost, and the application I think has been accepted. Process has been extended to the 29th. There is no cost; it's free. That's why we're so excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a free course, and you can find out more information on AAPC's website. So jump on there. So we've talked about a bunch of different things, and we've covered even a few areas that we were wanting to cover anyway. But one of the things that we like doing in these social hours is giving a few exam or study tips. So we want to ask each of you if there's something that you find or have found in your own professional career that's beneficial to passing an exam or taking an exam or preparing for an exam. Let's start with Karen.
Oh, okay. One of the biggest things is, study for the exam. Don't get too overwhelmed and try to study every single thing at the last minute because you're not going to make it. You're going to confuse yourself. So put the time and the effort into studying this along the way. And then when you actually take the exam, don't fret, what you hear. You will hear good and bad things about an online exam experience. I have done the online exams, and it was great both times that I took my exams. But one of the biggest things is you're going to come across difficult questions. My suggestion to you on that is don't spend a huge amount of time on that one difficult question. because you could run out of time taking that exam. So I would go on to the next question and next, and there's a way to see what you've not completed and answered, and then you can go back to that difficult question because you will answer the majority of your questions that way. And that's probably the biggest thing. And you can factor into it. You can look at this. You can say, okay, there's so many questions, and I have so much time. Divide it into there and say, I have approximately 2 minutes or whatever it is per question. You're going to answer a lot of questions without even looking at the book or anything that you have electronically, because you're going to know those answers. But I guess one of the biggest things I'm going to tell you, read that question and watch for the words, watch the verbiage in the question, because you could miss the answer by not seeing the word no or whatever. So those are things you have to pay close attention to. But that is my suggestion. So
that's great. Yeah, on the electronic exam, there is an area where you can flag a question so that you can see visually, okay, I flagged this one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and you can just easily jump back to those questions. So great tip. If you're unsure, you're like, oh, this one's going to take me a while, flag it, go to the next, and keep going. Yeah, love that. What about you, Rita?
That's actually what I tell everybody as well, is don't spend too much time on a question that's going to absorb precious minutes and just move on and go back. But the other thing is, get a good night's sleep. We worry and we think like, oh, you get all anxious and so forth. Get that good night's sleep. Stay hydrated. Bring some, drinks with you to your, exam, have something, maybe a nutritionist that you could eat that will keep you going. That's important as well. From a studying perspective, I'm a little old school. So things that I have difficulty remembering, I write it down and I write the answer down. And then I might do that a couple of times, because once you rewrite something, you do tend to retain that information a little bit longer. So not write the whole book, but things that maybe might stand out to you that you may have difficulty, connecting or so forth. So writing something down and rewriting it a couple of times sometimes does stay within your mind. And it's really like understanding the fact that, yes, it is a difficult exam. You know it. Have faith in yourself that you know it, and just breathe and take it step by step.
Yeah, I love that. Perfect.
Dave, can I share a funny story about an exam?
Absolutely.
So quite a few years ago, I was going to do the CPMA exam. So I'm in the little town, Cleveland, Tennessee. So I drove to Atlanta to take that exam. So my husband went with me. We had a hotel room that had a separate bedroom, which was really good. So I'm in the living area part of it, and I'm studying, and I decided to pop popcorn that I bought at the little guest shop there at the hotel. Well, it didn't pop, so I put it back in there and popped it again. Well, then it set off the smoke alarm. So funny story was they had to call the fire department. It was I was so embarrassed. But anyway, I went the next morning. It was we were on the ground floor, so you could go out to our little, sitting area outside. But that was the worst. It was so embarrassing to me because I burnt popcorn and that, with the smoke, it just set off the smoke alarm. But I took the exam in Atlanta, and that was the most largest facility that I'd ever seen to take an exam in, and they had it going on. But I did pass the exam. But and I see some stuff that people are putting over here, and that's right. And I said earlier, don't cram the day before, because it's just going to be too mind-boggling for you. Just go in there, breathe a sigh of relief when you go in, and don't let it pressure you. You are going to be able to do as good as you can. We all don't pass everything on the first time. That's happened to me, and I didn't like that one time. But we have to give it our best, and just make sure that you're at the best that you can be, and that way you'll be able to be fresh for that exam when you go in to take it.
Love that. Yeah, and that smell of burnt popcorn that can last so long. Good story. But yeah, the test anxiety is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even so like if you've done the preparing, you've done the studying, your day before, night before, just get into the right headspace, right? Get to where you're going to walk in and feel comfortable and confident. And then you'll be able to draw upon everything that you've learned so much easier. It's the stress and the test anxiety that puts up those blocks in our minds. So we just have to remove those blocks and then just let the information flow, because it's there, like Rita said. Just be confident. Love it. Great tips. Alex, how you doing over there?
I'm great. I feel like I'm smoothing out. What do you guys think?
You're
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
it's smooth. Looks good.
Hey, on this whole exam thing, I've got to tell you, I spoke with a member who has been coding for like 10 years, but she's not certified and she's trying to get certified. And she's frustrated because she hasn't, the exam hasn't been as easy as she thought it would be with the experience that she has. And there may be someone watching this who is experiencing something similar. And my suggestion to her was, first, she needs to not think about how she codes at work and applying it to the exam. She needs to think of the exam in a different way, but also practice exams, right? I said,
Yeah.
my suggestion to her, and I've heard this from so many members, score, get an 80 on your practice exam, and um, don't just get right or wrong. But if you get something wrong, really trying to understand the why you got it wrong, so you understand the concept. So she's determined, and it's awesome to see our members stepping into the unknown like this. So many do, but she'll make it. She'll get there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, practice exams. Yeah, Tara Carpenter says they're very helpful. So, Alex, while you were trying to juggle some tech things, we talked about our Emerging Leaders program. Yeah, both Rita and Karen gave a really great pitch for it. We're excited about that, but we want to pivot now and really talk about what's going to be happening in 2 weeks, which is HealthCon. So I'm curious to know, Rita, your involvement in HealthCon this year. What does that look like?
Oh, I'm so excited. I love HealthCon. I just love the networking piece. I love meeting everyone. I'm actually speaking at 2 sessions. The first session I'm speaking on is the variety of flexible work week schedules in the environment that we live in today. So not that traditional 40-hour, 8 or 9 hour day kind of thing. So that's going to be exciting because I want to see what people's reactions are to it. The second session is workforce analytics. So basically a revenue cycle analytics, looking at types of reporting, what you use them for, things that can be created within the EMR or with business intelligence. And then I will also be on the practice management panel with my cohort here, Karen and Rhonda Buckles. So we're always look forward to that. And I also volunteer for some of the sessions that AAPC Alex has on social media. So we have several of those that happen at HealthCon every year. So I'll be on one of those as well. So, and just everywhere, whatever's needed, I'll help do whatever's needed at conference, and just looking forward to seeing all the great, wonderful people that I've known over the years and meeting some new ones. So come find me if you're there.
Yeah, especially if you're new. If this is going to be your first HealthCon, definitely come reach out. Any of us here on this broadcast right now, come up to us, introduce yourself. We love it. So what about you, Karen? What's your involvement this year?
I'm so excited about this. Like Rita said, we're going to be on the practice management panel. This will be the 3rd year for the 3 of us, Rhonda, Rita, and myself. I'm looking forward to that. And I've been in practice management administration for over 30 years. So that's kind of where my interest lies. I do a lot of different things, but I'm actually going to be presenting on physician collaboration and financial literacy in your practices, giving you some financial tips with reporting and different things like that. It'll be different than Rita's. I'd love to go sit in on Rita's talk. And, again, what Rita said, and I will talk about that too. The best thing about conferences is that relationship that you build with people. I've met so many wonderful people through conferences, and we get excited when we're going to get to see each other again. The NAB gets excited when we get to see each other. We see each other monthly on video, but we don't see each other in person. So it's really fun to get together and to be there to help you all, the people that are coming. As attendees, we want to be able there to help you, to be there to help you and make your conference experience a wonderful one, because that's what we want. And I love it. It's just so exciting to go. It's just exciting. And there's a lot of great speakers. I was looking through the agenda.
Yeah.
and there's a lot of great speakers. And I'm actually going to be working in the Anatomy Expo with Rita too. So we're going to be in that together. So that'll be my first time in there. So I'm looking forward to that. So.
Awesome.
I told Karen I'm old hat at it, so she doesn't have to worry. Anatomy Expo and I are dear friends. The other thing I wanted to talk about is we are having a new session at conference this year, and it's a collaboration between the NAB and the CAB. So the National Advisory Board and the Chapter Advisory Board. So I know a lot of people signed off for it. We're extremely excited about this. And we are collaborating on a presentation and discussions about what our boards are about and so forth. So that's another session that's new this year that both boards are extremely excited about.
That'd be great to be able to work together.
Yes.
For a change. Just kidding. You always work together, but love it. And I mean, even just the location, we're going to be in Vegas. I was there at the, we did a site visit where we toured the convention center where we're going to be doing all the sessions in. And it's at the Caesars Forum Convention Center. And it's a relatively new facility and it's beautiful. It's massive. It's just the technology that they've got in there and just the overall aesthetic is just very pleasing. Like it's a great space that we've got. And it's just literally right across the street, essentially right across a walkway from where our room block is at Harrah's. So if you're still maybe on the fence about it or not really sure, I would recommend, even just for the networking possibilities, it's a huge benefit. And then of course, you get your education and your CEUs and all of that, but it's just a really great experience. So you can still register on healthcon.com. And I think registration is still, let's see, I'm looking at, if you can't attend in person for whatever reason, travel costs or whatnot, you can still attend virtually. And we live stream all of our sessions. And so you still be able to, pick and choose whatever sessions you want to see and be a presenter and get the info that way. But we do have a deal going on where you can save $100 on a virtual registration with the promo code. And you can find that on healthcon.com. So yeah, if you're on the fence about it, check it out. It's worth it. Alex, what are you going to be doing at HealthCon?
Well, Dave, I think it's what will we be doing at HealthCon?
Right.
So Dave and I are teaming up to, I guess, take a piece of social hour on stage before some of the general sessions. So we'll be co-hosting and interviewing a few people for a brief moment, which will be tons of fun.
Yeah, for each of the general sessions, and maybe a song and dance here and there. I don't know. We never really know what we decide to do at HealthCon to kick off these sessions until usually it's minutes before, and usually it's just a crazy idea of one or both of us, but it's going to be fun. So we really want to involve you guys, members. We really want to make you a part of the show. And that was one of the things that
Oh, that's a cliffhanger if I've ever seen one. You froze up right when you're about to share that, Dave.
Yeah, we did a talent call and we'd have people sing. If you've gone to HealthCon prior, we'd have people sing before some general sessions. And it was just so fun to not make the conference about us. It's not about AAPC. It's about all of you, and it's about your education. We want to get you involved. So that's what I say. If you see any of us, stop us, talk to us. If we're like making a mad dash for something, maybe pick another time to talk. But sometimes we got to sprint to be at different places at different times. But it's such a fun environment, and Vegas is going to be great. But I do want to talk about our regional HealthCon coming up. And Rita, do you want to tell us a little bit about where and what that regional one is all about?
So the regionals this year will be held in August, and they will be in my hometown city of Philadelphia. And I'm extremely excited about this, as I have waited and yearned for the AAPC to come to Philadelphia. And there's just so much we're going to do here. I mean, the sessions are amazing already. We have some great speakers lined up. AAPC always does a wonderful job with their education committee, getting some great speakers. It's the hotel is beautiful. It's actually in the center of Central City, Philadelphia is what we call it. It's right down the street from City Hall, some great shopping. You're about 5 blocks away from Old City, which is, many of you know that our history in this country began in the city of Philadelphia, and Independence Hall is about 5 to 6 blocks away from the hotel, and the Liberty Bell and Ben Franklin's home and Betsy Ross's house, and a great deal amount there. And then we have some wonderful restaurants, great theater. We also have the Italian market, which for those of you who love the movie Rocky, you can run down that Italian Market Street and be like Rocky. And we also have some great restaurants in South Philadelphia. And then we also have the greatest art museums. We have the art museum, we have the Barnes Foundation, we have the only museum outside of Paris dedicated to Rodin. We have the Franklin Institute, the Science Center. So there's a lot of things to do in Philly. Reading Terminal Market as well. And I'm so excited that I will be able to see so many of you in my hometown and hopefully be able to spend some time with you. I love it, and I hope you do too. And you'll walk in the footsteps of history. And Alex came to visit me not too long ago. We had a great time, and I can't wait for Dave to come, and as well as all of you.
Phillies will be in town that week. If you're a baseball person, there's so much.
There's some shows in town that week. You are only a bus ride away from the shore, as we call it, which is the beach. You are a speed line train ride away from Atlantic City. I know Karen will probably tap into that, where the casinos are. So she loves casinos.
I just got back from Biloxi last night, so yes.
See, I told you. And there's also Lancaster County, which is also amazing to visit as well. So Philly's also well known for the public transportation lines that they have that you can get to anywhere pretty easily without a car. So the stadiums are easy. Ken, he's also put in there. The stadiums are very easy from a public transportation standpoint. There's just so much to do in Philadelphia, within the city and around the city as well. So very excited to see all of you come.
Sounds like it's within walking distance of a lot of that stuff, right? You said 5 or 6 blocks to all of these historical sites, right? I know I'm going to be walking the city.
Walked with me, Dave. So some things are close and some things aren't, but the best way to see the city is by foot.
Oh, I love it. That's so fun. Karen, have you had a chance to go to Philly?
No, I am so looking forward to that because, first of all, it's Rita's hometown. Who wouldn't want to go to Rita's hometown? So, and if you've ever met Rita in person, she's a friend for life. I mean, she's just what she is here. She's so friendly and everything. So I cannot wait to go to her town. And a little history, back in 1981, I went to work for a psychiatrist. I was living in New Mexico at the time, and he is actually from Philly. And so I'm going to try to meet up with him while I'm there to see he and his wife. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool. That's awesome. Well, yeah, you'll have to plan your trip so you can make it out to Atlantic City, right? See that.
Yes, I loved Atlantic City not too long ago. So, and let's talk about Vegas. I mean, but I don't know that I'll be doing a lot of gambling because Vegas, not for me by myself. Now, I may go with somebody gambling, but I do like to gamble. And Harris is, I kind of gamble there most of the time because there's one an hour and a half for me right here. So.
Okay. It's not too far.
Yeah,
I'm a fan. I there's something about if it's like a clean casino. I love walking on the casino floor and just the lights and the sounds and play a few games here or there, whatever. But it's fun. It's fun if you're not trying to make a living off of it.
No, I didn't win the $1 billion Mega Millions, so there is that. So I don't have that much money.
I'm curious. I'm curious for Karen and Rita because you guys know the topics that are at our conferences better than Dave and I think, just as pros. But is there enough variety from HealthCon and Las Vegas to Philly to keep it interesting? Like, does it make sense for someone to hit both?
Yes. So I hit both. I love it because regionals are a little bit more like cozier. So you get to kind of interact even more so at regionals. And it's great for a first time attendee if they're unsure if whether they want to go to HealthCon. And then HealthCon is also has additional events because it's a larger venue and so forth. So I could say that I would say yes, because there's so much variety in speakers and topics. I mean, you have a practice management track, you have the compliance, you have auditing, you have coding, you have E&M. And that's scratching the surface because there's a lot more.
Yeah, and especially if let's say you're not able to make it out to HealthCon because of travel, distance, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're on the East Coast, Philly makes way more sense. Or in addition to, even so.
Yeah, I've actually, I speak at virtual chapter meetings, and I've spoken live, the past several months at chapters around here, and I've really brought forth the fact that, APC is coming to your back door. Some people live in the area; they can just go to conference; they don't have to stay at the hotel. But those people that are 2 to 3 hours away, they can stay at the hotel and enjoy HealthCon Regional and get their first taste of it, and really enjoy it because, like I said, the great speakers that we have lined up is amazing.
Awesome.
And honestly, things change all during the year. So what was relevant at HealthCon may not be, you may have newer topics come regional because things change. And so we have speakers speak on the newest things that are going on, the current changes, it could be anything.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. This industry is ever changing. And so and that's why even as an organization, to keep your credential, you've got to maintain your CEUs, because being part of an organization and taking on that as part of your identity in a way, it reflects across the entire organization. And imagine if we had, someone from 1999 get certified and never take any continuing education and is just trying to code now today, like it would just be such a struggle. Sure, you get a lot of on-the-job experience or whatever, but there's so many guidelines. There's stuff that comes out from the OIG and from just, I don't even know what I'm talking about mostly, but you hear a lot. There's so many changes. The code set even changed, so
yeah.
There's just
let's talk about AI, Dave. I mean, AI is so predominant now compared to 30 years ago, right? And that's another reason to go to conference, because there's so much information that's dispersed about all the nuances and AI and all the other, industries adapting to different processes.
Yeah, the technology, right? We've got Codify, which is a great coding tool. In fact, we've got, during conference, we are going to be putting on a Codify happy hour after Tuesdays. I think it's Tuesdays sessions after the breakout sessions. Out on the pavilion outside of the forum is just going to be this open Codify happy hour where you can come and interact and get some food, some drinks, but also learn how to use some of these new tools and software that can make your job easier, more efficient, more accurate. And knowing how to use not just traditional tools, but new tools, including AI tools, will just make you that much more marketable and that much more powerful in the industry. So it's lots of opportunity to really just bolster your career.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Karen.
I like to say, if you're in a practice or a billing company, it doesn't matter. And your boss, you need their support for you to go, for them to pay for these expenses. Take the agenda that's out there for each one of these HealthCon and regional. Highlight what you think would benefit your practice or your field that you're in, and show that to them. Let them know. And it's really, if you think about it like this, because you have to stay current. You hit it right there when you said current, because things change. And the best part about this is you're going to have the current things that are going on that will help you. Codes change. Whether it be they get deleted, you get new codes, or they get changed during the year, but you have to be at the top of your game to make sure that your practice, your company is getting every penny that they deserve. And that requires you being educated. In all honesty, you have to stay educated for yourself and your practice. And that is so, so important to do. And this helps you keep those continuing education credits that you have to keep your certification. This is going to help you. So take that, show that to them. And so let's just say you get to go. Do a brief report and give it back to them what you found out. And one of the things that I want to mention that is really a good thing to do. So I live in a small community kind of, and we have competitors in my specialty. So, we have become friends, but we are competitors. So I can call someone that I know that's in another city, another state, that is in my same specialty. We help each other out, and I mean, I help them out here, but the thing is they may be doing something in their practice or their company that you didn't even think about that can help you. And that's where the networking, as Rita said earlier, comes into play, is you have those abilities to network with your same competitors that in your field. And that's what is very beneficial, I think, too. And that doing it virtually is one thing, and I've done conferences virtually, but being in person to get that full experience and networking with other people, there's no other way. That's the best way to do it, honestly.
And to piggyback on Karen, most people don't even realize they have education funds. So that's the other thing, is that you want to see if your place of employment does offer education funds for conference or membership or books or, whatever, because most people don't realize that unless a leader tells them.
Yeah, that great ideas. In fact, to get your employer to pay for it would probably be the first place to start. And then if they have some hesitation with it or whatever, I love that idea, Karen, of printing off the agenda and saying, hey, this will benefit us, this will benefit us, this will benefit us. And even offering to maybe pay part of it personally, and they can pay the rest or something. Just let them know that, hey, this is something that's really important. And really, to them, it would be a small investment and that would give a great return as far as the education goes. We had somebody ask about the discount available for Philly through the end of the month. And I would encourage you to jump on the AAPC website under training and events and find the regional event, HealthCon Regional, and click the register button. That'll give you details about the discount. Right now, that early bird special looks like it's a $200 discount, which cuts that price down a pretty good chunk. So, and that's both for on-site and virtual, because we're doing both this year. Karen, were you going to say something about the employer?
Well, I can say I've been very blessed. I've been in my practice for over 20 years now, and my physicians support me in what I do. And they know that it's going to be a benefit for the practice as well as for me. And so I'm very blessed. I'm going to say that. Not everybody is, but I'm very blessed. So.
Love that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, as far as to kind of segue away from HealthCon, we talked a little bit about NAB and the BOD, the CAB. I'll get them right. The CAB and the NAB. We talked a little bit about what those are, and then we talked about the Emerging Leaders program that we're doing. Are there any other changes or things that are going on with the NAB, Rita, that we want to make the public aware of?
We still, Karen could probably speak a little bit more to this, but we're still want to make sure that everybody's aware about our mentorship program. That's something that's excelled with the Career Advancement Committee, ensuring that people know that you can register and have a mentor if you do not have one to help you or assist you with, questions and so forth. So that's something that we continuously move forward as well.
Yes.
Nice. And that mentorship program you can find also on the AAPC website. In fact, I'll throw a link down there if you want to check that out. All right.
Hey, Sean Johnson's asking if this is going to be saved, this social hour, just so you know, you can watch it on YouTube or Facebook, our Facebook page. So just look up our Facebook social media channels on those places and you'll find this.
Awesome.
I know the other thing that's a collaboration between the National Advisory Board and the Chapter Advisory Board is the new member orientation, which we have quarterly. So that's also something that we have a lot of members join, not just new, existing members, to get a refresher about all the great things that's available through our AAPC membership.
Yeah, every time. So Rita's on those. I'm on those kind of as technical support, but every time I'm reminded about the great benefits that you get just as an AAPC member. There's
Yeah.
there's the savings connection benefits. Like there's discounts for all of these restaurants and travel and all these different things that I often forget that we all have access to. Don't forget about that stuff. You could save a lot of money and get some good food too. All right.
Karen
Looks
went
like
off
we
the stream. Did she do that or did we?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm gonna bring her back in.
Yeah, let's bring her back in.
Hi.
You disappeared, Karen.
I know.
It happens. Well, we're about at the top of the hour, and we've covered everything that Alex and I wanted to cover today, I think. So, any parting words, Rita?
Oh, it's always amazing and enjoyable to do social hour with Alex and Dave. You know, it's amazing, and partnering with Karen has been amazing today as well. But just remember, if you come to HealthCon or to regionals, come find us. We'd love to meet you if we don't already know you, because if we already know you, you're going to get a hug. There you go.
And if you're meeting her for the first time, you'll probably also get a hug. So maybe at the end, but you'll get one. What about you, Karen? Anything you want to say?
Ditto to everything that Rita just said. I mean, this is always so much fun working with you all, and then of course working with Rita. And we are here for you all. Come see us. We want to see you all. And you know, if you've seen us on one of these social media posts, and come say, "Hey, I saw you there," because we would love to put a name with a face. Honestly. Yeah. So I may not remember your name, but I'll remember your face. I'm good at faces, but not names.
Yeah, and that's hard sometimes, especially when you have a lot of people that want to talk to you and get to know you. Yeah, it's tricky. But what about you, Alex? Anything you want to say before we close this out?
Well, Ken reminded me of the podcast. So yes, we do also put these recordings on the AAPC podcast. So in your favorite podcast app, just search for the AAPC podcast, and you can listen to us as you go jogging or maybe just walking around the neighborhood, whatever you're doing, you can listen to us there.
Yeah, cooking. I love to listen to Social Hour while I cook, you know, really anything. But yeah, multiple different ways that you can, you know, get this information. And we try and give you, you know, latest breaking news or new things that are coming. So it's a good spot to get all the best and newest information. So, well, thank you, Rita. Thank you, Karen. As always, Alex, fun to host these with you. And thank you all for watching and joining us today. Have a great rest of your day.
Take care,
Bye, everybody.
Bye.